Welcome to Wiseacre's wizarding equipment. It's lovely to see you. How can I help you today? Oh, you have a list. Perfect. That's okay. Yeah. Right. Just have a little look. We have everything here. Okay, 2 telescopes for the astronomy tower. All our telescopes are in that corner over there. You can pick any one you want, they all do the same thing. Then lion breath. I actually do have a fresh batch there. I'll show it to you in a moment. Then you need a moon map and a star map. Good. Okay. Oh, it's okay. You don't have to know anything about these things. I'll let you know. Okay? As I show you everything. You must be very excited. Your first year at Hogwarts. Oh, I remember too well. I was so nervous I got hiccups in the Great Hall. I felt like it was the noisiest thing someone had ever heard. Turns out it was just me and my friends. But you're going to have a great time, I can assure you. Me? I was a Ravenclaw. Yeah. It was pretty close between Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw, but in the end, the sorting hat said I ought to go to Ravenclaw. Yeah, the telescopes are just over there. We have ones made out of gold, we have silver ones, brass, copper. Ultimately, it's just about the aesthetic, really. They all do the same thing. We do also have bigger telescopes in the back, however we usually don't sell these to first year students because you would need a certain level of knowledge regarding astronomy, astrology and divination to understand what you're dealing with. Of course, everything may look very pretty, but for studies it may be a little overwhelming. So I'd say when you're in your 3rd or 4th year. Great. Okay. Now, I would say we have a look at the lion's breath. Okay. So let me see. Put this to the side here. I do have a fresh little batch that I made. Unfortunately, the others have all sold out, but I could give you this at a discount price if you're interested. If you need this for potions class, I will assure you this will most likely last you 3 years. Knowing the professors, I know that they tend to not use too much of this. Oh, I still love potions. One of my favourite subjects, actually, next to charms and herbology. Wonderful. So, lion's breath, as the name will suggest, is an ingredient you want to add to potions that will give the drinker a spurt of courage. You will want to only use this sparingly, okay? It has essence of Chispurple carapaces, hinky punk dust, or fog, whatever you want to call it, and just the tiniest amount of Wiggin bark. Okay? So technically you will be able to make this yourself in your first year. However, hinky punks tend to be a little dangerous when they're in a bad mood, so usually you only get to see them as of your, I'd say, third year. Along with ghouls and trolls. Yes. Oh, don't worry, don't worry. They won't teach you anything you're not ready for yet. I promise you. You don't have anything to be scared of. Of course. Right. So, you want to store this in a cold place, okay? If it is summer and it's very hot, obviously you want to cast a little glacier spell onto this. However, try not to manifest too much onto this because obviously glacius is a freezing charm. So you either want to aim from a certain distance or just make sure that the spell isn't too strong, okay? Because you don't want it to be completely frozen. Well, there are spells to melt or to cause fire, but they tend to be very, very hot, and I wouldn't want the glass to shatter. So, yes, it would be a terrible waste. Okay, so should I put this aside for you? Yeah, okay. I'll give you 50% off. That's okay, that's okay. It just usually takes about a week for this to develop, so I wouldn't want you coming to Hogwarts empty-handed. Okay? Great. I'll put this to the side for you. Right. Now. Alright. You've picked a telescope? Oh, that's a beautiful one. Yes. I love the little stars on the side. They're very cute, aren't they? Yeah. I think the designer did a wonderful job with those. Absolutely. Right. Oh yes, moon map, of course. Now, you want to keep in mind that while you cast some of your spells, sometimes it will be important to look at the cycles of the moon or the planets that are shifting, okay? I know a lot of witches and wizards tend to ignore that a little bit, but I can tell you that the power of both your potions and your charms will have a significantly greater amount of effect if you take these things into account. Okay, so unfortunately my baby dragon had a chew on this, so excuse that. I'll just show you this as a little sample piece. I'll give you a fresh one in a moment. But these are basically the cycles of the moon, okay? So, when you want to cast a very powerful spell, I would wait until the moon is completely full, alright? Because, like the tides with the waves, for an amount of energy to flow, as in backwards and forwards, we need to wait for the maximum point. So say the waves have crashed onto the beach and then they pause for a moment and then they retract. Or when they want to go back to the shore, they obviously wait in the ocean a little and then, you know what I'm trying to say. So this moon map obviously lets you know what types of moon phases there are, but if you want to know the current moon phase, say if it is very foggy out or very dark and you can't really see anything if you're in the woods or something, you'll want to take your wand and then you'll want to cast Revelio, okay? So it will reveal the current state of the moon. Right? Let me show you. Into the center of the paper, okay? Revelio. See? Wonderful, isn't it? You love magic. Are your parents muggles? Oh, so this is all very, very new to you, isn't it? Oh, I'm very excited for you. You're going to discover so many wonderful things, I can tell you. I'm really excited for you. Alright then. I'm going to put this away again. So just a gentle tap. And you can put it away again. So, obviously I'm going to put this one back and give you a new one. Here's a new one. There you go. Pass that through to you here. There you go. Lovely. Oh, actually, maybe you want to have a look at this. I'm assuming you've already been to Flourish and Blots? You have? Oh, how wonderful. You see, the author of the first year's guide to astronomy, astrology and divination had asked me recently if I wanted to design a new cover for the book, because apparently they were getting a little bored with the design, so I created this. What do you think? Yes. I actually put a little enchantment onto it. If you tap it 3 times, a star will appear. Would you like to see? Okay. You have to tap onto the moon. 1, 2, 3. It's cute, isn't it? And just hold for a moment, and it disappears again. Yes. Oh, I like to add a few little special bits onto my pieces, whatever I'm making. If it's a potion, or if it's something to grow outside in the gardens, or even just an artwork. I feel it always adds that special little extra touch, you know? Yeah. Well, I'm glad you like it. Can't wait to show it to them. Okay then. Now, there was one more thing, wasn't there? Let's see then. Oh, the star map, of course. Right. So, all our star maps are actually hidden within a book. Okay, so from the outside this just looks like a regular old book, okay, but again with the taps, you want to tap onto the book 3 times while thinking to yourself, Revelio, okay, the spell we just had. Good. So 3 taps and think it in your head. Very good. Then you want to open the back of the book, and there you'll see our solar system. Okay? So, the great thing about this little book is that it can not only be expanded, as in we can see further away than our own solar system, but it will also be incredibly up to date on how the planets are aligned in the exact moment. Again, Revelio, you're going to be hearing this one a lot. So you can cast it in the centre where you can see the sun, okay? And then the planets will rise up and twist and turn until they are in the current formation that they are currently in. Exactly. Oh, it's such a fascinating subject, it really is. You don't know anything about the solar system? Oh, well, we could go through some planets if you want to. Yes, I have loads of time, of course. I'd love to tell you some more about these planets. Shall we sit down and I show you some? Ah, okay, lovely. All right. Mercury is the smallest planet in the solar system and is found closest to the Sun. Although this would make us presume that it is also the warmest of all planets, this is not the case, and Venus with its thick atmosphere took over this heated role. Mercury will take the light of the Sun, circle around it in incredible speed, making a full circle 3 times per 1 revolution of the Earth. This means that 3 years on Mercury fit into 1 year on our planet, and it is the main reason its retrograde motion happens about 3 times per year in the geocentric system we observe. From our perspective, Mercury seems to go forward only to go back every now and then, a bit hasty and turned to wandering, while making many human mistakes along the way. The speed of its movement led ancient civilizations to believe that it was 2 different stars, one of which appeared in the morning and the other which appeared in the evening. Venus is the warmest planet in the solar system, even though it is not closest to the Sun, because of its very thick atmosphere that creates an extreme greenhouse effect. It is home for more volcanoes than any other planet, which brings it in an incredible connection to the astrological symbolism of Pluto. Due to its proximity to Earth, it is seen as the brightest of the planets in the sky, and to add to that, it is the only planet named after a female figure. Named after the Roman god of war, Mars is often described as the red planet because of the colour it reflects, recognized by the naked eye. This colouring is in fact rust covering its surface, seen from our perspective as a reddish glow to the star in the night sky. Its atmosphere is thin, its dust storms strong, and its surface gets really cold due to the distance from the Sun. Its accompanying 2 moons are named Phobos and Deimos. Jupiter is the largest and most massive planet in the solar system, with a mass so big that it rotates with the Sun around a point set outside of it. Its day is extremely short as it spins incredibly fast. Mostly made of gas and with 67 confirmed moons, Jupiter is truly a planet of incredible features. Because of its strong gravity field, it is often seen as the protector of the world as we know it, for this characteristic has the ability to turn meteors and space debris off course, and attract them to its surface so they never reach the Earth. Colourful clouds we see on the surface of Jupiter are not very thick, and they are made out of ammonia crystals. Along with Saturn, it represents the last boundary visible to the naked eye and is referred to as one of the gas giants. Saturn is the last planet in the solar system that is visible to the naked eye. Everything beyond its orbit is hazy and seeable only in specific circumstances, which is why transcendent planets weren't discovered and confirmed as planets long after Saturn was already in use in traditional astrology. Saturn's rings are made out of ice and dust, and even though it is not one of the ice giants, it seems to be surrounded by ice that defines its role in the zodiac pretty well. Its rings are thin and wide, and its entire surface is the flattest of all planetary surfaces. Saturn has at least 62 moons, and most of them are named by Titans in Greek mythology, They're descendants and giants from Gaelic, Inuit and Norse myths. Uranus is an ice giant with the lowest temperatures in the entire solar system. The axial tilt of Uranus is about 99 degrees, meaning it rotates around the Sun on its side, which is why a season on it lasts 42 years, and this is just one long day from its perspective. It was the first planet discovered after the invention of the telescope, although it can be seen on a clear night and from time to time with an unaided eye. Because of its low luminosity, it was mistaken for a star for years. With at least 27 known moons, all of them named by characters created by William Shakespeare and Alexander Pope, it is circled by satellites, less than gas giants preceding it. Uranus rotates in the opposite direction than that of other planets, just like Venus, and this seems to be truly significant to understand its nature of opposition, spite, and eccentricity. Called both a gas and an ice giant, Neptune is a cold, icy structure of great mass and gravitational pull. Just like many other large entities in the solar system, it has rings surrounding it, but Saturn seems to hold the role of the ring bearer nonetheless. Because of its distance from planet Earth, Neptune wasn't known in ancient civilizations, impossible to spot from Earth without a telescope. It was discovered in the 19th century. To circle the Sun, this planet needs approximately 165 years. Being so far away from the Sun, Neptune is very cold, with an average temperature of minus 214 degrees Celsius. After the dismissal of Pluto's planetary role in the solar system, Neptune became the last official planet in a row to circle the Sun. Named after the Greek god of the underworld, Pluto wasn't discovered until the 20th century because of its size and distance from Earth. The location of Pluto was predicted before it was actually discovered, since the orbits of Uranus and Neptune clearly pointed to the existence of the ninth planet behind the sphere that was visible at the time. Pluto is smaller than a number of moons that circle planets in our solar system, but it has its own orbit around the Sun, which still makes it act in a planetary way. It has an eccentric and inclined orbit, which at times brings it closer to the Sun than Neptune. Alright, here you go. New book coming right up. So, we have the telescope, the star map, the moon map, and the lion breath. Okay. That will be 2 galleons, please. Thank you so much. Lovely. Thank you. Oh, you are going to have such a wonderful time at Hogwarts. I'm bursting with excitement. Sometimes I wish I could do it all over again. Yeah. Have you already thought about taking a pet? Of course you can take a pet. Well, it can be regular muggle creatures. You can also take some fantastic beasts. Not all of them, I should add, obviously. Some of them are a little dangerous. Besides, you growing up within the muggle world, I don't really think you would know about any of them. I just mentioned hinky punks, but they don't make very good pets. They're pretty mischievous and they tend to throw their lanterns at you, which is not only painful but quite a fire hazard, to be honest. So, don't know about that one. You can take owls, you can take rats, cats, frogs, toads. I'm sure they've added more to the list. I believe crows you can also take with you now. I mean, obviously for communication purposes, I would recommend taking an owl. But make sure you get one that doesn't bite. Some of them like to bite. Yeah, I had one at school that was not very friendly necessarily. I think it was because of the old owner, because it used to feed it constantly all the time, and it was getting very unhealthy looking, so I didn't want to feed him as much. So he got a bit angry with me. But anyway, that's a long story. But yeah, I hope you have a wonderful time, and if you have any questions at all, do make sure to ask, okay? Not only me, you could obviously always ask your teacher. Who's your teacher going to be? Do you know yet? Oh, okay, that's fine. Well, you can always send me an owl if you want to, okay? It usually takes about half a day or so for me to respond, so yeah. Well, believe me, you're going to have a great time, and yeah, maybe we'll see each other again next year. Yeah, you can tell me all about your favourite subjects and everything you've learned, and maybe you've even gathered a favourite spell by then, and you can show it to me. Yeah, well, that sounds lovely. Oh, well, thank you so much for visiting me in my shop. Yes, that was wonderful. Okay, well, you have a wonderful day, okay? And beware of the hinky punks. They do wander around Diagon Alley sometimes. And oh, and also don't wander off into Nocturne Alley. I don't know if anybody's told you yet, but I wouldn't necessarily go there. Maybe wait until you're 17 or 18. Yeah, it's pretty dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. So, okay. Right. You have a great day then, alright? Okay. Thank you so much for stopping by.